All right, you're Ken Adkins of the Independence Patriots, and Ken, a slow start maybe there, but you guys really caught fire with the bats, and then your pitching, did what they had to do.
Well, I think
too.
we scored 3 in the first and then kind of went quiet, and we really should have had a bigger inning in the first inning. We had a couple bad at bats there to end that inning, just bad pitch selection. In the kids' defense, that's a pretty good pitcher. We had not seen her before. We didn't play them last year, so we didn't have a lot to go on. They've been playing well, so it was kind of feeling out process in the beginning. But I'll tell you, in this, people kept saying to me, "Oh, this, you moved down into a weak region." Well, those people haven't played Mill and Trail or and Liberty's 2 and whatever, but it's still a good team. That's still a team that went to the state tournament last year and just about everybody back. And we had not seen Westside, but listen, Darren does a good job, been doing it a long time, and he's got some kids that can put the ball in play. Now, we did a good job, other than the walks. Kinsey got in a little bit of trouble. I caution all of them, you're going to get missed calls every now and then. And if you go back and look at that,
I think she had
a missed call that would have ended the inning.
I
thought it was a strike.
I think it was 9 pitches, not
right. Listen, and he didn't call the third strike. We end up walking that batter. Then we end up walking probably 3 more. So, those things happen. You get in that rut and you can't get out. And it's easy to say, me sitting over on the bench or people watching, say, hey, take a deep breath and, go on to the next batter. But, once those things start snowballing, the ball started elevating and we couldn't get the rise up, and then everything else wanted to elevate. So, but it's not she was a little upset when she came out, and I said, listen, that's how the game's played. So the good thing is and I don't talk about it enough, but we have 4 or 5, and we'll never get it. This team they'll get abused at the end of the year because in all state they just won't pick them all from one team. But if you look down our lineup, we have 4 or 5. They're not even open for discussion. All state caliber kids, and they show it just about every time we come out here. We're hitting home runs at a crazy pace. Nothing like I've ever had before. We've had people that can hit home runs, but not in the bunches we hit them. But the biggest thing is the approach at the plate. When it's good, we can hit with just about anybody.
And then your power there in the bottom of the 4th when you kind of put the game away. Again, it's a 2-run home run. Chloe Cunningham, your freshman, hit a 2-run home run.
Yes.
I mean, then it seemed like you got your timing down.
I said to Chloe, you're in a little bit of a slump. Well, she's still batting 500. So, I don't know what kind of, she's probably thinking, Coach, your idea of a slump and mine's 2 different things. But
she thinks 500 is a slump.
And we did this, had a couple batters in the lineup doing this, and I noticed it today. We're leaning out there watching the pitch. And so when you do that, and then the ball's closer to the plate than you think, then you're kind of caught. You're fisting the ball or not getting good swings on the ball. And I said to her in that at bat, just stand up and see the pitch. And when she does that, she has a great swing and great finish through the ball, and the ball really jumps off the bat. So,
Darren said that's the best hitting team, and I'm sure you've heard this from a lot of coaches. But what does that mean to you to hear when guys say that's the best hitting team we faced, maybe the best hitting team in the state? That's what the man said.
Well, I don't know, and we don't. And I said something. Somebody said something about rankings or something the other day. Listen, I'm on that 11-man committee that does those rankings, and for Metro News. And what I said to somebody, people are kind of fussing early in the season about who does what. And right now, it's kind of crazy because not everybody's playing the same schedule. It's hard to judge everybody. Like, we had nothing to base our preparation on with Westside because we played some common opponents, but the common opponents we've played, they've beat them, and so have we. So, that doesn't really help you always. And but what I do know is good-looking softball team, Right now, we are. There's no escaping that. I mean, we're in the driver's seat as far as the 1 seed in the region, unless someone just goes crazy and votes us at the bottom or something. But I'm telling you, Westside and Midland Trail and James Monroe will get. Greg will have them in order by the end of the season. Liberty will get that thing turned around. The kids will, and they'll listen. That'll be a dogfight here at the end. That regional will not be what people point to, the one with Logan and Scott and Wayne and Sissonville and all those teams in it, and that's a tough region as well. But this region up here is going to be tough.
What you're saying is you try to just take that. That's the best hitting team we've ever seen with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I don't know that. We're until we.
I think they probably know it's the best hitting team
Right.
they've seen.
Well, and they can say that, and I'm sure several teams that we play that would say that. We scored 22 runs on the Logan team. That was not with their best pitcher. That was not with Miley. But I mean, we are scoring runs in bunches. We've had very few opportunities to play 7 innings. Most of our games have ended. I can't get subs in the game because we're ending the games in 3 and 5 innings. But it's not because we're not playing good teams. Those teams are good. We're just having really good plate approaches right now. And like I said, when you do that, if you can just every kid out here, their team, our team, Liberty, Midland Trail, we played Mingo Central down there. They got some kids that can hit the ball. If kids will take good approaches at the plate, they can do some damage. Lots of kids can hit. It's just getting them to take that approach at the plate where they are successful. That's the key. And like I told maybe you or I told Rusty someone last couple weeks ago, so far I've pushed all the right buttons. Now, you know what I mean? That's kind of that magic potion. Sometimes that potion runs out, and you just got to hope that you keep pushing the right buttons and putting the right people into place to hit the ball.
Tim, I appreciate it. Thank you.